today to talk to. Got some people to talk to down in Evansville. EJ, we're going to send it to him at about 2 o'clock, so you'll stay tuned for that. And then you'll be listening to West Liberty here on the Watchdog right after. Real quick, I want to go through our sponsors that are going to be sponsoring live from Evansville. I think it's important to show them some love because we really appreciate them jumping on board and being a part of this. First off, I want to thank Belmont Savings Bank for being the main title sponsor of Live from Evansville. Means a lot to be on board with them. We've done some things in the past with them, especially with the Pine Room, doing a workout challenge with the Belmont Savings Bank. So they're really great, and they deserve all the love that we're giving them. Fronapple and Burkett Insurance, River City, the Highlands, BKCTG, the Dirty Dog, Robinson Auto Group, the Preferred Legacy Trust Company, Main Street Bank, Paris Insurance, and a new one on Thursday, Charter Kennels. So thank you to everybody that sponsored today's episode or today's show and the Live from Evansville segment that we're going to have here at 2 o'clock. So appreciate EJ heading down there and getting all set up. I know we had some radio issues on Tuesday, but we are going to get through those today. So, if there's any issues, that's just radio. There's not much we can do about it, but I'm thinking we're going to have a smooth show. Things are going to go smoothly, and I think EJ ended up in the hallway towards the end of our show on Tuesday, so hopefully he doesn't get kicked out anywhere today. But we got some stuff going on today. We're going to have some callers calling in to talk some things, especially Matt here in the first half hour to talk all sports. Again, Glenville women, Division I Sweet 16, World Baseball Classic, and it'll probably be a little more than that. But I'm here in the studio with Jarrett and Coach. It's going to be a good show.
It's nice and dry in here, so you know what they say in Mingo. This is unbelievable. You know what they say in Mingo when it rains?
I don't know.
What do they say in Mingo when it rains?
They just let it rain.
Yeah. Tell you what, that's words from a wise man that was a Wheeling native. He
well, I think he actually listens to this show, if I'm not wrong.
He that's one of the best quotes I've ever heard. It's inspired me, honestly, I think, through my entire life.
Yeah,
really.
It's going to rain today, rain tomorrow, rain Saturday. Can tell it's baseball and softball time and spring season time. Now I think we get a little break from the rain on Sunday, but it comes back our way on Monday and Tuesday. But sunshine is ahead, baseball's ahead, softball's ahead. So, but we're in here, and their show is going to be mostly about West Liberty basketball. The excitement in the Valley is really, really high right now for the Hilltoppers. In the Final Four, we're missing our point guard today, Matt. He's had some obligations outside of the studio, so he couldn't join us. But he is going to be calling in here in a couple of minutes, and he's going to give us the updated lines on the two games, Nova Southeastern playing University of Cal State San Bernardino, and then obviously the most important game for all of us, the Hilltoppers of West Liberty taking on Black Hills University Yellow Jackets. So we are anxious for Matt to call in and update us on that, and we're going to get his take on the games and his take on the Sweet 16. And as Jubb already mentioned, the Glenville girls went down last night, I thought, to a better team. I thought Ashland was just a better team. Just one of those nights. I think Ashland is really, really, really good. Well coached. Not that Glenville isn't really, really good, but I think Ashland was probably the best opponent Glenville has faced all year, obviously.
There's a reason they're undefeated. There's a reason they haven't lost a game all year.
Offensively, they were just really, really good. Really good. So, tough loss for Glenville, but to be defending national champs and make it to the semifinals, unfortunately, I believe they're losing their coach, Kim Stevens. She's headed to Marshall University. Good for her. She's accomplished a lot at Glenville. Want to wish her the best of luck. And I'm sure she'll take the Marshall program to prominence, hopefully. And hopefully Glenville can fill that spot and won't lose their identity in the Mountain East Conference. So, once again, congratulations to Glenville State University on finishing in the Final Four. And then we have the World Baseball Classic, which just wrapped up Tuesday. That was an exciting game. Jarrett, you followed that pretty heavily. It was a climatic ending with Trout facing Otani, so that was really a cool ending. Didn't end the way we wanted it to for the United States, but Otani's awful good.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw it. It kind of went viral. That Mad Dog, Chris Russo. He works for ESPN, and he said that the last at bat, Ohtani versus Trout, was not an epic at bat, and all Trout does is strike out. That's what he said. People were like, "You got to be kidding me!" That was one of the cool. Even though Trout struck out on three, swung and missed 3 times, it was really, seriously, probably the most locked in and at bat I've ever watched in my life. Watching probably the two best players in baseball, go at each other and their teammates.
Amazingly on the same team.
Yeah, they actually SportsCenter just came out with their top 100 baseball players right now, and Ohtani was number 1 and Trout was 2, and they're on the same team and they can't win.
That's incredible. And but back to who did you say said that about him?
Mad Dog Russo, Chris Russo.
But there was an incredible stat on Mike Trout at like the amount of times he swung and missed in like 2 times in an at bat. Like, it's an unbelievable statistic. Like, he rarely.
Yeah, I forget exactly the stat, but it was 3 where he swung and missed 3 times and struck out in an at bat. It was like 1% of his entire major league career. And honestly, the World Baseball Classic, I can't wait for 26, even though it's 3 years away. But seriously, that was some of the best baseball I've ever watched, and hopefully people listening out there got to watch it. And it definitely the Mexico the manager for Mexico said after they lost to Japan in the semis, said that even though they lost tonight, the world of baseball won. And it's probably one of the best quotes I've ever heard, because seriously it was an amazing few weeks of baseball. And I'm really excited for the future of the game. I think it's going in the right direction, a little bit in the wrong direction with Rob Manfred and his rules, but a good week of baseball.
Yeah, it was, and congratulations to Japan. Unfortunately, our American team didn't win it, but represented themselves very well, and so that wraps that up. World Baseball Classic. Now we're about a week away. Actually, I think a week away. A week away?
Next.
Is it next Thursday? I think next Thursday's opening day.
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe next Thursday. So we're a week away from opening day of baseball, and all spring sports around here cranking it up. I want to wish all our teams the best of luck. I know some teams have already got some games in. Now nobody's going to be playing over the next couple of days unless you have turf and you get a break in the rain. But if you're on dirt, you're not playing. You're not playing for a while. But anyway, spring sports cranking up, and
I hope they got the tarps on.
Yeah, they better.
But I don't think that's going to help at all.
Yeah, and then to go along with that, obviously a really, really fun time for basketball as it winds down. We got the Division I Sweet 16 starting tonight, so you can watch West Lib, then you can watch Coach Crutchfield's Nova Southeastern, and get ready for the Sweet 16 tonight. Got the things cranking up: Arkansas UConn, Gonzaga UCLA. And then we got FAU Tennessee, Jared's beloved Volunteers, and then Kansas State, Michigan State.
What do you like in that game? Kansas State, Michigan State.
I like Kansas State.
I like Kansas State as well. I think they're besides Tennessee, they're kind of my I wouldn't say sleeper because they're number 3 seed, but they're a low key team to watch here. They're pretty good.
Yeah, Matt and I and Chris disagreed on that. I like Kansas State tonight. They both like Michigan State. So,
well, he's here to talk about himself.
He has arrived.
Hello, guys.
Unfortunately, not in person, but he is over at probably one of the busiest places it'll be here in the next couple of days. We're joined by our quarterback, our point guard, who couldn't be with us today, but I'm sure he's anxious to talk to our listeners and talk about, to the Hilltoppers and Nova Southeastern, along with the Sweet 16 in Division I and some other little topics. So, Matt, welcome aboard.
Hey, thanks, guys. A lot going on over here right now at the sports book. I was a little late getting in touch with you guys. I was going to call around 12:15. I was running a little behind. We had a little bit of a line moving West Liberty game already, so I had to attend to that a little bit. So right now we have West Liberty -5.5 against Black Hills State, and the total's 166.5. We actually opened it at 7.5 this morning, which I actually had a little bit of a disagreement with my other 2 guys that make odds with me. We kind of the 3 of us get together. We each throw out a number, and then we kind of get a consensus. But I was a little lower. I actually had West Liberty minus 4.5 in the game, and they had West Liberty almost up to double digits this morning when we talked. So a big difference there. They did see a couple of books in Europe that opened West Liberty. A couple of them actually took our numbers and made some adjustments to them. They ticked West Liberty down to 5.5. And that's where we are right now. We actually took a little bit of action on Black Hills this morning, which I think was kind of a sharp play by guys who did bet that. I think that's going to be a really, really close game. I think both these teams are really good. Black Hills, I mean, they beat Nova last year in this in the Elite Eight. Nova was undefeated and number 1 seed at the time. And this Joel Scott guy, if you haven't seen him play yet, he's really, really good. Him and Bryce Butler are going to be a heck of a battle all over the court. So I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, I was looking at his resume. His resume, Joel Scott's resume is unbelievable. It actually mirrors Bryce Butler's as far as you're talking. He was the Rocky Mountain Athletic Conference Player of the Year, the Rocky Mountain Athletic Conference Tourney MVP, the Region MVP. I mean, he and Ragsdale must be a heck of a combination. I was going to talk a little bit more about them later, but they have the most combined points in the history of the NCAA for teammates that also played in high school together, surpassing Tom and Dick Van Arsdale. So they must be really a heck of a duo. One 6'7", the other 6'4". I think that'll be a big challenge for the Hilltoppers.
It definitely will, Coach. And then the point guard, Cisse, is really good, too. Black Hills, I mean, they're a really good defensive team. I mean, they really emphasize defense. You can tell the coach is ranting and raving like a madman on the defensive end of the floor. So he expects his guys to defend. They shut Nova down a little bit last year when they played them. Most of the same team is back for them. West Liberty, though, is playing the best basketball that I've seen them play in a couple of years probably. So this is going to be an incredible clash. I think this game is going to be outstanding. And I think it'll go down to the wire, and I think it'll be right within a one-possession, two-possession game the whole time. I'm really looking forward to it. And then if you want to talk a little bit about Nova, that game should be really good too. Cal State San Bernardino, a quality team, a lot of Division I transfers, guys who can put the ball on the floor, can shoot the ball. They seem to be very good in transition. That's going to be interesting to see how Nova, keeping the pace going, and Cal San Bernardino, they're going to be able to score in transition probably. So that's probably the team that plays the best transition defense and gets the best shots on the offensive end in transition, I think could win that game. Right now we got Nova minus 8.5, total 170.5. I'd probably lean towards San Bernardino, but I think Nova could out-execute them a little bit in the half-court. San Bernardino didn't seem to switch a lot of screens, and I think they could have some issues with their half-court defense against Nova today.
Yeah, interesting that most people around here probably don't know, or even like around the state of West Virginia. They have a player, Brandon Napper, who played at South Charleston High School, went on to play at Eastern Kentucky, and then transferred to San Bernardino. He is and I believe that I read this statistic right. He has 189 three-pointers, which is the most in the history of San Bernardino's program. So he can obviously shoot it. He's South Charleston. I remember him back at South Charleston. He was a really good football player too. I believe he was their quarterback for South Charleston when they might have been in the state finals. I think he was really, really good. But anyway, he's a key cog to their team, and they could present some issues for Nova. But I'm not sure that. How do you compare them to let's see,
Missouri St. Louis?
Yeah, Missouri St. Louis. Yes.
I would say they're a little more athletic. They have some height. They got some guys that are big. They got some guys that are just really good athletes. Transition-wise, I feel like San Bernardino maybe a little bit more dangerous, but I think in the half court, I think St. Louis was a really good executing team. I thought they did a good job really being patient with Nova's pressure and still getting good shots. And if you're patient with teams like Nova and West Liberty, because they play exactly the same style, you can get good shots. But a lot of times these teams, West Liberty and Nova, do such a good job of getting the pace going frantically that these teams rush shots. They take bad long two-pointers and so forth instead of getting layups and open threes by working the ball around. So I think think it'll just come down to contrast of styles and to see who can be the most patient and execute the best in half court and then in transition. I think both games will be eerily similar. I think Nova, maybe with San Bernardino being a little less disciplined on defense, could have a little bit of an advantage, and they actually – it might work in Nova's favor more than it did the first game because they actually struggled until midway to late in the second half there when they kind of put St. Louis away. But I think West Liberty and Black Hills, I think that's going to be one of the better games that you would see at a D2 Elite 8 in some time.
Yeah, and I think I heard an interview with Ben Hallett this morning, and I think as they did against New Haven, I don't think Black Hills is very deep. I think they may go 7, maybe 8. 7 deep, so, with that pressure and that up-tempo, I'm sure that Black Hills is probably not going to try to run with West Liberty, being that West Lib plays 10 guys the entire game. I think that you're right. I think that Black Hills will definitely have to control the pace and not let West Liberty get up and down the floor and try to get up into the 80s and 90s. I think Black Hills' chance is to keep it in the 60s and low 70s.
Right. They're probably going to use the same game plan they used last year for Nova as they slowed that game down, kept Nova in the low 70s, on the scoreboard. That'll definitely be their style here today. They'll be patient. They're very good. Their guys, which I noticed when I was watching the game, their guys. Pretty good post-up games for some of these guys. Joel Scott and some of their other players, very good back to the basket. I think they'll try to isolate West Liberty a little bit down on the block and kind of use a little bit of their size there and just be very patient because they definitely don't want to get in an up-tempo battle here with West Liberty. With the benches you mentioned, one of their key bench players is a true freshman, so they have some guys with lack a little experience, and if West Liberty can get into that bench, maybe cause some foul trouble for Joel Scott, which he has had a tendency to get into foul trouble in certain games, so that could be a key.
Yeah, and they got another 6'9" guy, Riker Sasarik, that's a big forward that, as you said, probably plays very well with his back towards the basket. So I believe that they'll try to utilize their size, obviously, as you said. So
I want to bring this up real quick, Matt, before we go to the break. Did you guys actually see how Black Hills won their region to get to the Elite Eight?
Yeah. They actually looked like they were going to lose, and then the call got reversed.
Dad, if you didn't see it, there was like 5 seconds left, and the guy for I believe they were down 2 maybe or tied, and guy for Black Hills got fouled. He hits a foul shot. They go up 1, and then the West Texas A&M comes down the floor. The guy plants hard and hits like a mid-range jumper to win the game. Place goes crazy, and they said it was no good. And they waved it off,
wow.
And Black Hills miraculously won. So we'll see. Hopefully the Toppers can pull through here. Matt, what do you? Yeah, you feeling all right?
I think it's going to be a great game. I think both these games would be. I wish I was out there to watch them both in person. And as Coach was talking about earlier, Matt Ragsdale. This dude's an assassin from the three-point line. So West Liberty in transition, they're going to find him and not allow him to get wide open looks because he seems like one of those shooters where if they start going in early, they're going to go in all day because he seems very where a guy who would just get a lot of momentum early if he gets his first couple to fall. So
yeah.
Should be a great game.
So anyway, those are going to be 2 great games. The other, obviously, you're getting a lot of play on the Division I games. They kick off tonight. I'm sure everybody's lining up to pick their winners tonight. What's your feel for tonight and tomorrow?
Well, so far people seem to be trending towards the favorites, which is a pretty normal thing over here. But right now, I'd say Gonzaga actually taking a little bit of action for one of the dogs, but that's a very close game with UCLA there. Connecticut. Probably the consensus pick here for most of the players at our sports book. A lot more Connecticut. I'm not sure people trust Arkansas. I happen to like Arkansas in the game. I think they'll probably win the game if you ask me. Michigan State, the Tom Izzo factor, definitely they're taking some play there. So that is kind of they're now favored 1.5 at most places. That's basically a pick'em game against K-State. And then Tennessee, that line's now up to about 5.5 now. the majority of people are on Tennessee, but a lot of sharp players on Florida Atlantic, and I like Florida Atlantic as well. I think they'll win this game, and I think they actually may win this game pretty handily. I thought Tennessee played great. Sorry, Jared. I think Tennessee played so good last game, I don't know if they could do it again.
Shut him down.
Yeah, that game. I also like that game over a little bit. I think it's actually getting bet down to 129.5 right now from the 133 opener, which seems a little bit odd. I know people love Tennessee's defense against Duke, but Florida Atlantic, very different style team than Duke, very transition-oriented. And I know Tennessee's good in the half court, but I think FAU tries to get this game going up tempo, and they have some really good players. And I know they don't you don't see a lot of them, but I look for FAU to be very dangerous tonight. And I think all these games will be pretty good, though. Should be all two-possession games or better throughout the game, I would think.
Big question: has the sharpest player in town been over yet to place his wages? You haven't not seen him?
He'll be rolling in probably about the time the dogs start up at 1 o'clock, so about a half an hour from now he will be here in person.
He'll release his plays. Okay. Well, as you know, we got to run to break. And
Matt, send us off.
All right. Well, you guys have a great show. Good luck to everybody, and good luck to EJ down in Evansville. You guys are doing a great job, and I will be back with you guys next week at some point in studio.
Tuesday, hopefully we're back on a regular schedule. All right.
Enjoy the Pioneer Podcast in Evansville. Good job, Jarrett, and Coach. Thanks,
that
guys.
was
Talk to you later.
That was Matt Watson, our leader here that has had to miss this week because of obviously a lot going on this week. It's been a busy week, but I'm going to send it to Job.
Yeah, we are going to head to break here. Keep tuned in here. Keep locked in. We're going to head to break, hit a couple of these ads, these lovely ads, and we'll be right back here with the Pine Room Podcast live from Evansville here on the Watch. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Pine Room Podcast here on the Watchdog. Happy Thursday. It's a lovely, rainy Thursday out there. Hopefully you're not too wet yet. Hopefully you're enjoying the show, whether you're at work, maybe you're in your car, hanging out at home, cleaning the house, doing some spring cleaning. Either way, welcome to the Pine Room Podcast here on the Watchdog. And we are hosting today's incredible event live from Evansville. It's a two-part event. We had our first part on Tuesday, and now we're headed to our second part today. We got a lot of stuff going on. Of course, we got the game coming up here very soon at 2 o'clock. So at that 2 o'clock hour, or at that 1 o'clock hour, we're going to head down to EJ in Evansville. He's got some guests, conversation about the tournament. We got sponsors to talk about, a lot of stuff. Real quick, again, I'm going to run through the whole list here. It's worthy of doing this because they've jumped onto this, especially in the short amount of time that we've had to plan here. But again, big shout out to Belmont Savings Bank, Front Apple and Burkett Insurance, River City, the Highlands, BKCTG, the Dirty Dog, Robinson Auto Group, the Preferred Legacy Trust Company, Main Street Bank, Marie Insurance, and Charter Kennels. We couldn't do this without you guys. Thank you for sponsoring this awesome event. We're glad to be doing this and bringing this out and broadcasting this all to everybody that's listening. We just had Matt call in, so thanks for Matt for taking time out of his work schedule to call in and talk all things sports and basketball coming up, especially with the big game here in a couple hours. We got a lot to talk about still. We got a long way till we head down to EJ. I think we're going to get a call from one of our most loyal listeners here soon, Mr. Roy C. Mercer. He called in during the break, so we're going to get updated with him. And we're going to get rolling here. So I don't know if you guys want to hit any more on sports or anything right now, but if you want to, let's do it now before we hear from Roy.
Anybody else wants to call in and give us your prediction on the game? What you think in both games? If Nova and West Liberty are both going to advance, give us a score. Give us, any of your thoughts on the game. Call in. Talk to us about the game. It's an exciting day for West Liberty University. Really exciting. And I want to send a shout-out to E.J. Shodzinski. He's been traveling back and forth. His son Rhett lives in Cincinnati, and he's been traveling back and forth. I believe it's about a 3-hour trip from Evansville to Cincinnati, maybe a little bit longer. So he's been traveling back and forth, spending some time with his son, but doing an unbelievable job with Howard and Bob in the mornings, bringing people up to date on what's going on in Evansville and giving us a picture of the games. He's given us updates on the results, and then giving us a preview of both teams. Gave a great preview of Black Hills today, and just doing an outstanding job on a short notice. And he's helped us so much, and he's doing such a great job and brought Belmont Savings into the mix, and we appreciate them so much, as we do with all our sponsors. So EJ, we're going to be heading to EJ, and if you can't tune in today, the game is on live TV, I believe, on CBSS, right?
Yeah, CBS.
Yeah, and talking about tuning in here, if you're interested, you can listen, of course, obviously, if you're listening on the radio, on WKKX, FM 98.1, AM 1600, WVLY 97.7, and AM 1370. But you can watch online. If you go to the Pine Room Podcast on YouTube, you can watch our live stream. Unfortunately, we can't have a camera down there with EJ, but you can see us here in the studio. You can text in the live chat if you got any questions. If you want to, if you want to give us some advice or some scores, like we said, you can talk in the live chat. Again, we're the Pine Room Podcast here, hosting live from Evansville. We're on the radio here from 12 to 3 every Tuesday and Thursday. We're on Monday from 2 to 3. But you can find us online at the Pine Room Podcast. Listen to all the podcasts that we've just done. We just hit episode 52 weeks ago, or last week. So you can listen to about 50 episodes of that. You can listen to 30 episodes of Better's Last Stand, where Coach and Matt and Chris and several other guys go on and talk about sports and betting and all kinds of things. You can listen to Soup and Stuff, where Soup sits down with other businesses, business owners and professionals, athletes, all kinds of stuff. We just had one with Dalton Bolin. We talked to him, or at least Soup talked to him through a Zoom call, so we have that on there. Really proud of a lot of stuff that we've done, so go ahead and go watch all of our stuff, listen to us, give us a subscribe, give us a listen, give us a follow. But I got a caller right now, and I'm pretty sure I know who it is, so you guys keep going, and I'm going to take this call.
Back to the Pine Room Podcast, we have some possible really exciting news, which we're not going to reveal yet, but hopefully we're going to hear something here in the next couple of weeks. Some really exciting news for the...
Yeah, some thirst-quenching news.
Yeah, some really cool stuff, possibly really exciting stuff for the Pine Room, and it's something that everybody in the Valley can get involved with, so hopefully everybody will jump on once we find out and make the huge announcement that Soup is working diligently on, and we'll keep everybody posted on that. So
should be really exciting. And again, if you're watching on YouTube, you can start putting some names and voices with faces. And it's a lot easier for us to chat with you. You can talk in the chat a little more interactive than a call, and we're on to the next topic. But yeah, it should be really cool within the next few weeks, next few months. Exciting stuff going on. We're busy. What do you say? We're busier than a one-arm paper hanger?
That's it.
What's that mean?
Well, a one-arm paper hanger can only work so fast. So he's always busy because he can only get it done so quickly. It's not like a two-arm
So
paper
it's a guy.
He's a guy who's always busy because he can't get caught up because he can only work half as fast. But anyway, and once again, EJ will be broadcasting. I believe he just called in and told us the game actually doesn't tip off till 2:07. And if you don't know EJ, this isn't his first rodeo on announcing. He's done a lot of Metro News stuff. He did some of the games at the Mountain East Conference Tournament. He was a voice of the Hilltoppers before, so he is very good, and you'll enjoy it. So if you can't get to a TV, tune in on radio or any other platforms that they know of. But without further ado, he is with us, our number one fan. We haven't heard from him in a couple of days. We hope he's doing well, and love to hear from him. Roy C., welcome aboard.
Well, how y'all boys doing today? I'll tell you what, you sound all pepped up, but you know what, fellas, I wanted to tell you about my weekend I had.
Well, we're anxious to hear about it.
I had a wonderful weekend up there in Wheeling, and I want to tell you why. We went up early. And of course, Jukebox, he had playing machines and one-armed bandits. Well, Jukebox won herself about $500. Well, she said, well, let's go up there to Ogilvie Park and see if we can see some of these cowboys, because she had that real nice dress on and her cowboy boots on, you know. She was all dolled up. Well, we went up there, and oh my goodness, she just had a meltdown because she did get to see some of them cowboys and hold their hands and stuff. And she even told them about her getting her promotion at McDonald's. Where head cashier, and if he was coming through there, stop in, she might be able to take care of him down there. I just said, you better quit doing that stuff like that. So,
yeah, you better be careful, Roy. You better be careful with them cowboys.
Well, I know that. But that's not the bad thing about what happened on Saturday.
Oh, no. Tell us more.
Well, she had that pocket full of money, and we decided to go up there, that the Bella's up there, and there was a big old steakhouse up there on the hill. So we goes up to this steakhouse. This place is just as crowded could be. And we're sitting there in this waiting area, and Jukebox starts talking to this young man. And he tells her he's a basketball player. Of course, he had him a real nice young lady with him, too. I'll tell you what, she was a little pretty. I'll tell you that.
Hey, watch yourself now, Roy C.
I know. I don't want him getting mad at me.
Junebug might be listening, too.
I know that. She is listening. And, well, she takes a break down there at McDonald's and puts it on. Now she's got that smartphone, you know. They let her do that now. She can take a break because she's head cashier, you know. And so we're talking, and this young man says his name is Bryce Butler. And he plays basketball for the West Liberty Hilltoppers. So we're talking, And I said, man, he sounds like a real good basketball player. And he told me, he went to the high school up there where the Steelers practice up in Latrobe, Pennsylvania.
Well, I'll be.
I said, oh, my God, do you know all them Steelers? He said, no, sir. He said, I'll just get down and watch them practice sometime. So we're talking, and I get to find out. I said, I got to see if this boy's for real. So we watched him on TV, me and Jukebox. Oh, my God, that woman was going nuts. Now she's a forever Hilltopper fan.
Well, I'll be darned.
That's her favorite college team. She don't like West Virginia or anything like that anymore. She likes the Hilltoppers, and that Bryce Butler's her player. And so I had to look up some information. And, my God, this Bryce Butler was one heck of a high school player, too. I mean, they said he's on that watch list up there for that Francis Award up in there, And so we got to looking and checking. By golly, they got a boy. He's a freshman on that team. He's from almost in the neighborhood. From St. Mary's, West Virginia.
Well, I'll be darned.
Grant Barnhart. And he was a 2 or 3 time All-Stater at St. Mary's, West Virginia teams.
That's right. That's right. That's right by you. That's close to you guys, Roy C.
That's what I was saying. It's almost like a neighborhood boy. You know what I mean?
Well, that had to make you proud on a peacock.
Oh my goodness, it did. We got seen that. I got that new internet now, and I could look everything up now. And then we watched that boys play on TV. I'm going to tell you what. I think that team, they could beat West Virginia, Ohio State. A lot of them big teams is playing now. They're really good. And their coach is real good, too. That guy named Ben, I think's his name. I mean, he just does a tremendous job with them kids, And I just couldn't believe that we were actually sitting there talking to Bryce. And, of course, Jukebox, she had said, well, I'm the head cashier down there.
She was bragging. She was bragging.
I got new uniforms and everything, she said. And I'm like the head of all the cashiers down there at that 7th Street McDonald's down there. And it's like I wasn't even there.
So now, so not only you got to worry about the Cowboys, you got to worry about Bryce Butler now.
Well, I think Bryce Butler kind of took over the show. I mean, she had more faith in Bryce than she did in them Cowboys. And I thought, boy, they ride them bulls and everything else, My God, it was something. I'm telling you, it was something. And we didn't win that car yet, but we put a couple. Yeah, but we liked it down there. We liked it real well. But I'm telling you what. This Bryce Butler kid is really the real deal. I'm telling you what, they got them a heck of a player there.
Yeah.
They got one. Actually, he's got a couple good teammates on that team, too, after watching them on TV. I'm telling you.
Well, make sure you tune in today or listen to the game here on WKKX. Roy C., you tell Junebug.
We are going to listen to it. Oh, Junebug already knows about that game. I'm going to tell you right now, she asked that boy when the next time he was going to be playing, and he explained to her about how the system worked, that if they win and they was going to go to the Final Four. I said, my God, what a great player this young man is, because he didn't pull a wool over our eyes.
No.
He's telling us the truth.
Oh, yeah, he's a dandy, and let's hope he keeps it going today. And I tell you what, we personally know Bryce. We had him on the show, and we're going to tell – oh, yeah, we had him on last week, and we're going to tell him about Junebug and how much she just admires him. And I tell you what he'll probably do. I bet he'd sign an autograph for her.
Oh, my
He
God.
might sign her uniform.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
That'd be worth a lot of money.
Roy C. can't breathe.
I just can't believe that boy would do that.
Well,
I'm all excited for Junebug, Maybe get her all wound up. Maybe she'll come home and take care of Pop here,
Roy, I hope you and Junebug enjoy the game today, but we appreciate you calling in as always.
Hey, Roy, you tell Junebug we send our love.
I will tell her that, and I want to tell you, boys, I love you. I love your show, too.
We love
Oh,
you
we
too,
love
Roy.
Thank you very much for allowing me to be on.
All right, buddy.
Absolutely, Roy. Have a
Take care
great
and
day.
go Hilltoppers. Go Bryce Butler.
Yes, go Bryce Butler.
See you, buddy.
Thank you, Roy.
Boy, what a
Well,
call.
what a guy.
What a guy he is. He
I mean, just brightens the day up.
It really does.
You feel the energy in here just skyrocket. It goes from just a slow talk to Mount Everest.
I
It's
tell you,
awesome.
he's got to be the most popular guy in the trailer court, I would think.
Yeah.
Would you think so?
the most popular guy in a trailer court?
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. I bet he gets people.
The mayor.
Yeah, I bet he gets them wound up there in the trailer court, and he and Junebug probably dance around. They probably play music, get a campfire going.
Wonder if he's gonna get a what's he get, a Big Mac with no onions?
Yeah,
a Big Mac with no onions because Junebug doesn't like how he
When he gives her a peck on the
yeah,
cheek.
but hopefully he gets that for the game. We have another caller, I believe.
Yeah, was there someone checking in, Job?
Yeah, we do. We got Steve from St. Clairsville. You hear us?
Oh, Steve.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Great. We just had a legend on. I don't know if you happen to hear him, Roy C. Mercer. I don't know if you're familiar with Roy C. or not, but one of the biggest fans of the show, and we appreciate you calling in too. What's on your mind?
Well, I just wanted to say, I don't know who Roy C. Mercer is, and sounds like a pretty genuine person, but I was at Bob's lunch last weekend in Moundsville eating.
Okay.
And I heard this voice. And I turned and went over. It was Roy C. Mercer and Junebug.
In Bob's lunch?
Bob's lunch in Moundsville.
Now I'm shocked he didn't mention that. He probably just slipped his mind because he was so worked up about Bryce Butler.
But what I was really, two things. I've never seen a stack of pancakes that high for dinner.
Was that yours or Roy C.'s?
Roy C.
Oh, or Junebug.
No, Junebug, she just went with the cup of vegetable beef soup.
Oh, he had pancakes and she had vegetable soup. Oh, interesting.
Good contrast.
Interesting.
You know, like you could go down there and you could order pancakes by the dollar. One pancake, $1.
So
He told me he had $20 to spend.
He got a 20 stack.
Could you imagine? I wish I could have took a picture of it and sent it to you guys for the website. I've never seen a stack so high in my life.
Well, I can't believe Roy's already getting recognized out in the public. That's incredible.
He's got a distinct voice, that's for sure.
One interesting thing is, you know, he had his little cousin with him. That's one ugly kid, I got to tell you.
What's his cousin's name? Did he introduce you to him?
No, and I wasn't about to get near him or shake his hand. He still looked like he'd been cleaning up at the animal shelter all day.
Now I'll be dipped. Roy C. hasn't mentioned him. He must not be real proud of him. I don't know.
Yeah, he probably trying to keep him under wraps.
Remember when the Brady Bunch brought in Cousin Oliver at the end of the show?
Yes, yeah.
That's kind of what he does. He brings him in late and doesn't tell anybody about him.
Now let me ask you. Now let me ask you one more thing. What is Junebug a looker? I bet she's a beaut.
No comment.
All right, let's change subjects. You're a basketball guy, right?
I love basketball.
All right, give us your take on the Hilltoppers today against a very stout Black Hills team, and then what you think about Nova Southeastern under Coach Crutchfield, and will they end on the incredible game that everybody's hoping for on Saturday?
Well, I just I heard Matt call in, and I heard that line was at 5.5.
Yeah.
I couldn't get out of the office quick enough from St. C to get to Wheeling to put that money on that, given the 5.5. I love West Lib today.
Okay.
Absolutely love them. And I don't know much about Nova and their opponent, but look here, there's a reason they're undefeated. And they're coached really well. They got a former West Liberty topper on the team.
Yep.
And then I've just been reading about Brandon Napper plays for him, former Mountaineer. Is this true?
He plays for Cal State San Bernardino. Yes.
Okay. All right. So that should be an interesting matchup today.
Absolutely. Yeah. A lot of Valley Valley blood in the whole thing with Coach Crutch and Will Yoakum and Brandon Napper. It's really a neat story for the High Valley.
Excellent. So, nope, I'll be tuning in this afternoon. Got to bring that up on the phone, but just want to say I did run in the room.
Thank you for that info. That is incredible. All right, buddy. Thank you, Steve.
See ya.
See ya.
Got to head to break here. We will be right back here at the top of the hour, but stay tuned, stay locked in. We got to get through some of these commercials, all these sponsors. right, back in the studio here, Market Main Street down in Wheeling. We are here excited for an awesome day for the West Liberty Hilltoppers. We got a huge segment here coming up here. We're heading right down to EJ. We want to thank everybody that's been a part of this production from Tuesday and today. Hopefully we're going to be back here Saturday, but who knows after today. But we got a lot of stuff to cover still. We got for the next half hour, we're going to head down to EJ, and then the next half hour, the 1:30 hour, we are going to head back here to the studio, and you can call in then from this first half hour. We can't take any calls because we're heading right down to EJ. But first, I want to thank all of our sponsors: Belmont Savings Bank, Fronapple and Burkett Insurance, River City, the Highlands, BKCTG, the Dirty Dog, Robinson Auto Group, the Preferred Legacy Trust Company, Main Street Bank, Paris Insurance, and Charter Kennels.
And we are just about ready to head back out to Evansville, possibly obviously our first, but maybe our only guest, West Liberty University assistant coach, Mr. Mike Lamberti, in his 5th season. And EJ is going to talk to him a little story on Mike Lamberti. He's married to former West Liberty, probably better than he was, star player, Hilltopper former Emily Bucon, now Emily Lamberti, and she is the sister of Chris Bucon, who works for Paris Insurance and helped us with Paris Insurance becoming one of our sponsors. So we're going to send it out to EJ, to Mike Lamberti. One last thing about Mike and Emily, they want to congratulate them. I haven't seen them since then. They have their one child now, Vincenzo Lamberti. I don't know if he's out at the game seeing his dad coach or not, but Mike, welcome aboard. We're going to send it out to you, EJ, with assistant coach Mike Lamberti.
All right, thank you very much, Mark. And leave it up to you to sort of lighten things up with a little, joke about like playing days. But that helps in a serious environment like this. But in all seriousness, a new national champion is assured this weekend, as none of the 4 surviving semifinalists have ever won a national championship. And certainly we're pulling for this guy and the West Liberty Hilltoppers next to me. Coach Lamberti, thanks for joining us. Congratulations on a great season. West Liberty comes in red hot, winning 17 games in a row. And you guys looked really good in that first round win against New Haven. Tell me all about it.
Appreciate you guys having me on. Love being recognized as Emily Lamberti's better half. Okay. Yeah, it's been a great trip so far. Here in Evansville, because while being with them, to scout them after the part of the West. We're going to work so well, packing it on defense, run their half-court stuff. And I think our pressure from the get-go really allowed them to speed the tempo up. That's really game plan ball, trying to attack their show, defense, really kind of confident. The guys up here were a little bit of difficulty, we'll try to get in here a little tighter here in a second, but all right, so Coach, if you wouldn't mind, go through that one more time and tell us about that game against New Haven. Sorry about that. I appreciate you guys having me on. Appreciate the warm welcome to be recognized and everything. What a great group out here in Evansville, Indiana. We've got
go watch the Rose Thank you did look really good the other day. I like how the second five came in, and they seem to really come in with a lot of confidence. I mean, these knockdown shots, they seem to up the tempo a little bit. You're going to do more of that today as we move on to a tough Glasgow State University Yellow Jackets team. That has been here before. They were here last year, and they have the National Player of the Year gold out before the handful last year. Tell me what's going to be the key to getting out of here with a victory and advancing to the national title game here today? Thanks for all that analysis and giving us sort of a preview of the game. You know, let's try to go out there and win one for Vincenzo, okay? As well as all of those Copper Nations. We wish you all the best. We're all pulling for you, and good luck today. All right, Mark, what do you think about Coach Lamberti?
Well, we couldn't hear anything he said. It was getting drowned out by the music, and there was just not any communication.
Oh my goodness, are you serious?
Yeah, we couldn't get anything from him. It was bad. Now you're not bad. The music's still pretty bad behind you, but we can definitely hear you. But anyway, give us a little capsule of what he said, because the people out here had no idea.
Well, I'm so sorry about that.
No, it's okay.
Mike really filled us in on the game here today, particularly when he mentioned about Joel Scott, the post player for Black State.
Right.
He is the National Player of the Year. He is beautiful inside. As I watch the players warm up in there, you know, you can see the seriousness of this game. And Joel certainly looks like a big time athlete.
What I wanted to ask him was, I wonder if there's any team in the Mountain East Conference that you could possibly compare them to, or anybody they played in the region that you could compare them to. And I don't know if you can answer that or not.
I think it's going to be the athleticism of Fairmont State.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah, with their long, their athletic, and plus they come with that dominating player inside. Those guys average over 20 points, double-digit rebounds. So that's quite the luxury. They're going to win basketball games. You got to win them up the field. And when I say that, we're talking about you got a really good chance of winning, and Blackfoot State had that throughout the season. I think come in here with 29 overall record, and they are the lead. One final point. We are looking at a semifinal matchup here in North Carolina where the top two teams number 2, West Liberty, Hilltop versus Blackfoot State first, then top seed, Rosa Southeast York, against South State, San Bernardino, fourth seed. So, for folks back in the High Valley, we're certainly looking at that continue. We call that shot. Dancing that shot. We certainly hope the second Hilltoppers are able to up on the number 3 Yellow Jackets.
Yeah, we talked to Matt Watson earlier. He was over at the sports book. We talked quite a bit about the games, and he was under the impression that he thinks that these will be 2 really, really good games, well contested, be tightly played games. He thinks it, and I think so too. I think for Black Hills to have a chance, they're going to have to control the tempo. If they get in a running game with West Liberty and the score gets up in the 70s or 80s or 90s, they're going to be in big trouble. What are your thoughts there?
That's a good point. I did have to talk to the Blackfoot State people here a little bit ago, and they feel really confident with the score around 80 points. They feel like they can hold West Liberty under. They've got a really good chance, and I would have to agree with that. I think West Liberty comfortable in the 70s, in the 80s, or the 90s. So we could play different tempo. And that's really
Yeah, and I think West Liberty has shown that they can win games now in the 60s and 70s, whereas, before it was always played in the 80s, 90s, in the hundreds. So I think that's the Hilltoppers have proved that they can play a defensive style game and a slowdown type of game, and hopefully whatever game is presented to them today, I'm sure they'll adapt. And again, EJ, as you always say, it comes down to if you can put the ball in the bucket too. You can do all the things you want to do. If you shoot well, you're going to win. You're going to have a good chance of winning the game.
Let's hope they shoot like they did last game, because they were on fire last game.
Yes.
EJ, you there? Wait.
Can you hear me?
You're a little quiet for us.
No.
It's still a little quiet for us.
Hey, Jerry said, hey, hang up and call us back. Let's try that.
Okay.
Let's try that. All right, sorry, folks.
Yeah, sorry. Listen, again, like I mentioned, radio is a very finicky technology. We send them down there with some gear, and sometimes things just don't pan out. We're going to do our best to get him back on here, but he's calling back. Hopefully things are fixed. If not, just bear with us.
Hey, and we actually have a live chat right now from David. He says, hello, gentlemen. I've been a regular listener. I do have a question. Where is the Pine Room, and can anyone show up? Well, the Pine Room is located in our backyard, but I guess technically you could show up, but I guess we wouldn't prefer you to show up, right?
Oh, no, we welcome anybody.
Well, I mean,
we'll welcome you with open arms, David. Just bring bring some beverages.
Yes, exactly.
Maybe a snack. All right, let's see, EJ. Give it a try again. We're still pretty ruffled.
Hey, EJ, why don't you do this? You call in on your phone. Call in on your phone, and then we'll get you just straight onto the air.
All right, we're still trying to work out.
We're going to keep figuring this out. We got a couple minutes left before we go to break, so we're going to keep trying to figure this out.
And EJ's doing such a wonderful job. I wish we would have got to hear the interview with Mike Lamberti. You know, I was thinking, you know, all the head coaches get all the attention. You know, they get the press, they get the publicity, they get the showers after the big wins, and the assistant coaches do such an unbelievable job of scouting, recruiting, strategy. You know, without a good assistant coaches, the head coach is really not as good as they get all the credit. So would have loved to heard from Mike Lamberti. Unfortunately, we're having a few technical difficulties. I believe EJ's back. Let's give it a try now, EJ.
How are we doing now?
Oh, there we go. That's what I'm talking about.
You know what? The music is so loud in the arena, I think it was just drowning us out. And so I'm actually just calling you on my cell phone. I walked down into the tunnel, and we'll just take it from here.
Yeah, you're much better. Now we can hear that lovely voice that everybody's going to hear here in about 45 minutes. And you say, EJ, the actual tip is 2:07?
That's correct. The lineups will be introduced just after 2 o'clock, and then we will tip at 2:07. It's going to be a good one.
Yeah, I think it's going to be really a great matchup. And, you know, as you said all along, and by the way, you've done a great job with Howard and Bobby and keeping the people informed here. And I think people are really excited. We're seeing a lot of stuff on social media. We're hearing a lot of people talk about it. We're getting calls in. You know, I think people are really, really excited. And I think you got them at a fever pitch about this potential matchup that we've talked about. We don't want to put the cart ahead of the horse here, but the matchup that I know you're dying to see.
Yeah. But just getting back to your first point, West Liberty, and you talked about how the Valley is pulling behind them, and they're all excited. West Liberty is an easy team to root for.
Yes.
You know, they play the right way. They play for one another. They play defense. And they're all around good kids, you know, good student athletes, and so they're easy to pull for. Now, getting back to the second part of your thought there, yeah, wouldn't it be exciting if West Liberty were able to get through this game and advance to the national title game, and then later, Coach Jim Crutchfield, the former West Liberty coach and legend, was able to do the same with his Nova Southeastern team. How exciting would that be?
Yeah, I that would be, as you keep saying, stressing. There'd be a lot of small stories inside the big story, but it'd be almost national. Have to be national news with everything that surrounds the whole matchup. You know, between the coach, as you mentioned earlier, the coach teacher, the coach player. You know, the Will Yoakum story. Just the whole thing. It'd be along with the game, the story leading up to it would be incredible.
Yeah, how about just an Ohio Valley story when you're talking about, you know, Wheeling area, West Virginia, going national news with two guys that are leading the entire nation in winning percentage. You know, if you look at the 5-year mark, coaches with at least 5 years, Ben Hallett leads the nation with the winning percentage. And then if you count guys with 10 years, it's Coach Crutchfield right on his heels. And folks, you got to remember that, you know, Jim Crutchfield is winning almost 9 out of every 10 games over his career. But try to keep in mind that he took over 2 programs that were down. And so when he took over West Liberty, they had only won 3 games the year before.
Yes.
And that certainly plays a factor. And he did the same thing at Nova. So if you ever talk with Jim, he will tell you that, you know, he wanted a new challenge. He wanted to see if he could do it a second time. And obviously he has achieved that challenge.
Yeah, I was going to say, he always stresses that he loves that challenge of taking a program that is struggling and see if his his recipe for winning will work at that particular institution, as you said. Obviously it has, and I'll tell you, the one thing that stands out to me, not only does he get great players and good kids, is his relationship with his players, the ability to get along so well with them. You know, as I know, EJ, from coaching many years back and then today, the players aren't quite the same, and you hate to keep stressing that, but it's the truth. You know, they want, now with the transfer portal, NIL deals, and they want all the nice gear, they want all this. It's a different world, and his relationship with his players is just it's just something to be admired, and I think that's one of the keys to his success. Do you agree with that?
Oh, absolutely. And, and if you're looking for a coach that's going to yell and scream,
yeah,
Jim Crutchfield is not your guy.
No.
I mean, he is like he's almost like an attorney in a courtroom. I mean, he just communicates in such a way that the players listen and they seem to come through. And say the same thing about Ben Howard. They have different styles, but certainly a great communicator as well. And, there's an old saying that it's not the X's and O's, it's the Jimmy and Joe. They both have great players, but I would disagree with that because they both have great strategy, and they're here to win a national title, both teams.
Yes, definitely. And as you said, what an exciting day that would be for the High Valley. But I tell you, EJ, you've done a great job bringing this. We feel like we're there sometimes with all the information you pass along, just to recap the games and then give us a preview of the upcoming games. And it's just been exciting for the Watchdog, for the Pine Room podcast, to have you doing this. I know you told Howard you're having a ball, and I'm sure if we could win today, you'll have a good time tonight and tomorrow and getting ready for Saturday. And hopefully we can, if things work out, we can get back together Saturday.
That would be awesome. Why don't you guys just get in the car? It's just a short drive down here, and we can do something live all together. Wouldn't that be cool?
That's what I'm thinking, EJ. Let's hope we win first.
Yeah, let's not make those plans yet. We'll see how that works out today, but we'll be excited to listen to you. We're going to get ready to head to break. I'm going to throw it to Job here, but we're going to come back at the top of the hour, and you'll take over from there, and we'll be excited to listen. We're going to be listening. And again, great job, EJ, and thanks to all our sponsors, and thank you for all your help.
Yeah, for sure. It's been great partnering with the Pine Room podcast, and, let's go Hilltoppers.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely. Thanks, EJ.
Thank you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was EJ Shadzinski down there in Evansville. We appreciate him taking the time to go down, set up all the equipment. Again, I want to stress, issues happen, things happen. There's nothing we can do about it here. We fixed it at the end. We appreciate anybody that's been listening and working through our troubles with us, but we still got a half hour to go. We're going to talk some more stuff till we throw it back to EJ for game time. Call in, text in. You can go into our chat on YouTube and the live stream. But we are here. We're still going. We got a half hour left before the game starts. So get in here. Let's get engaged, and we'll see you right back here after the break. Happy Thursday there, folks. We're the Pine Room Podcast here on the Watchdog, hosting the live from Evansville. We got about a half hour left before we have tip-off. But we want to thank everybody involved so far. If you're just joining us, we appreciate you hopping on. We are excited to be here. We're excited to be a part of this whole production, but it's something we really look forward to. And it was short planned, but it ended up turning out pretty well. We had a couple of technical glitches, but we worked through them. That's the spirit of radio. You work through what you got. It's all live. There's no pre-recording here, so we got to get it. You got to work with it, roll with the punches. We appreciate everybody that's bearing with us, but we got a half hour left. So if you want to call in, well, more like 21 minutes. But if you want to call in, talk to us. Get engaged with the show. You can call in certainly and talk to us, ask questions about the game. I think we're going to go over some details here, what's going to be coming on here in the next half hour. But we're going to be kicking it back to EJ. Bob Slider's going to be in this booth producing the show, and we will be right back here for the game. If you're interested in watching on TV, fill me on what those channels were again.
Oh, yeah, Comcast, CBS Sports, 854 HD. I'm not really sure what other channels there are, but yeah, we got Comcast on here in the studio.
What's the channel? What's the
CBS Sports.
CBS Sports, but you can listen live right here on the coverage from 2 o'clock till whenever they wrap it up. So anything else we want to hit on before we just talk some details?
Oh, we just want to, talk about, I want to hit on some things for Black Hills. I want to give people some more information, but a couple of things about our programming next week. I believe we'll be back regular Monday 2 to 3, and then Tuesday 12 to 3, and Thursday 12 to 3. Back to our regular show. We'll have two lives and a Florida guy back in the time machine. All the other things that we do, trying to really amp it up and make our show better each week. Couple of guests we're going to hopefully have on next week. Chase Harler, he's going to be on with us Thursday talking about the TBT coming to Wheeling in July.
Hey.
He's going to be part of that. So,
well, real quick, talking about Chase Harler, one of his best friends is on the air right now with us.
One of his best friends. Oh, is that right? Who could that possibly be?
Let's go, baby. Here we go, Toppers. Here we go.
Oh, that's the former Topper the Bear.
That's
Brian
what I'm talking about,
Soup Campbell in the house. What year were you the Bear?
2016 to 2018.
Soup, do you get a ring for that?
I should.
Or like maybe a green jacket or something?
Wow.
I think we need to find people to donate to build a Topper the Bear statue right on the quad, and anyone that's ever been the mascot should get their name on it.
Were you
like that.
Were you instructed not to talk?
Yes, I was in my contract. Like, we got a scholarship for it. If you talk, you get your scholarship paid.
That had to be hard sometimes. People would say stuff to you couldn't talk because you, of all people, like, that's unbelievable. Like,
How about homecoming when people would come up to me and, like, kick me and stuff, and I just had to roll with the punches?
Yeah, and everybody said that can't be Soup in there because he would be talking, and people you probably want to talk so bad at times and you couldn't do it, but you did it. You were probably the greatest mascot in the history of West Liberty University.
I was just looking back through videos. I have so many videos of me hitting unbelievable half-court shots at halftime.
I know.
I would go out in that suit and just throw those balls. I'd throw the ball up to, like, the three-point line and just do crazy stuff.
Yeah, Soup, I was going to say, you might be the best, but you also might be the most controversial of the stuff that you weren't allowed to do that you did.
Hey, Soup, would you like to be out, like, if you could do it one more time, would you like to be out in Evansville right now as the Topper the Bear?
Oh, my gosh, it'd be hilarious. I'd create chaos on that floor. Black Hills State wouldn't know what was coming to them. They'd be trying to shoot layups, and I'd be throwing stuff at them. You definitely can't do that.
All right, do you think, Soup, back in your mascot days, if they had a race like the pierogi race at PNC Park, and you had to go whatever the arena is in Evansville, do you think you could win that race?
Yeah, I'd smoke any other mascot in the country. Give me the Topper the Bear suit. Give me a big head. Let me run around. Here's the last thing I'm going to say. Toppers 82, Black Hills State, not enough. Toppers get the win. See you guys.
Hey, wait, Soup.
All right, there he goes.
That's how he is.
There he goes.
He's here and gone. He's like Houdini.
I was gonna give him the mascot trivia from the.
Oh, that's right.
We
Yeah.
were talking about mascots.
Well, let's go down through the mascots and see which one we like the best. There's some pretty cool ones in this Final Four.
Well, yeah, you had them. Did you have them written down there?
Yeah, obviously Topper the Bear.
Topper the Bear is our beloved black bear.
And then we got Sting, the Yellow Jacket
from Black Hills.
I think it's a little cliche.
Sting, the Yellow Jacket from Black Hills. And then we head over to the other side. We have Razor the Shark from Nova Southeastern.
That one's nice.
I like that. This is my
like
favorite.
that one.
This is my favorite.
And then from California State University, San Bernardino, we have what is it? Cody the Coyote.
Cody the Coyote. I like that one.
Which is pretty darn good.
Yeah, I like that one.
If I had to rank them, obviously Topper the Bear, number one.
See, you're doing that with your heart.
Biased.
That's.
Well, I can't say Topper the Bear is number 4.
Well, yeah, you can. You can be honest.
Topper's a good mascot, though. He's
I'm
a
not
great
saying
mascot.
it's not, but Cody Coyote 1, Razor the Shark 2, Topper the Bear 3, and Sting the Yellow Jacket 4.
I'm going.
What do you got, Joe? Oh, wait, Jared, go ahead.
Yeah, Jared.
I was gonna go Topper the Bear number 1, Cody the Coyote 2, Razor the Shark 3, and then Sting the Yellow Jacket at number 4.
I gotta say, I really like Razor the Shark. I really like that name. That's a cool name. It has nothing to do with an actual shark. It's like Sting. He's got a stinger. We got Cody. It's 2 C's. But Razor the Shark, I like that name. I'm putting him at 1. Topper the Bear at 2. Cody the Coyote at 3. Then Sting at the Yellow Jacket.
Yeah, the Yellow
Yeah,
Jacket.
he's out at 4.
I wish that we could show the people what Razor looks like. He's an interesting fella. He's got a real big head, like all mascots do, but his is very, very large. His fin goes about 2 feet back behind him. He's pretty cool looking.
He's got a big fin?
Yeah, real big fin on the back of his head.
Hey, I will give mascots credit, because I was a mascot for like 2 days. I was an Eagle for Wheeling Park. And I'll tell you this, it's not easy work. You're in that suit, it's hot, you can't see, you can't walk straight, people are trying to touch you, you hug people. And then for souping, those guys that have to, really juice it up and dance and mess with kids and do all kinds of stuff, it's tough. I got to give them credit.
Let's see, if there was a battle royale between the four mascots, who would well, let's see. So if let's do the semifinals. The Hilltopper the Bear against Sting the Yellow Jacket.
The Sting goes, bears love bee honey.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, I think
but if he stung him in the eye or something.
They take stings all the time.
All right, so Topper the Bear comes out on top there. Razor the Shark against Cody the Coyote.
Well, here's a question. Where are they fighting?
Well,
if they're fighting on land, Cody's got him. But if they're in the ocean, Razor's got him. That's tough. I'd say overall weapons. I'd say you got to give it to Razor.
All right, so Razor then.
I think Razor
then against Topper the Bear.
I think Topper wins.
Well, again, you got to put them. You got to put them pound for pound in their habitat and location. It's tough because if you put a shark on land, there ain't nothing you can do. But if you put a bear in water, he's in trouble.
Hey, we have a quick live chat from Matt. Westlip mascot ranking: number 1, Ingrid Loy, and then 2, Sue. And I agree. I actually might have to agree with that.
I think Matt, you're being a little biased there. I think
Ingrid. Shout out to Ingrid. She was the best marketing professor in the country.
Really?
Absolutely.
Was Ingrid way before Soup?
Geez, I don't know. I can't say that.
Why? What do you mean?
Well, I mean, that'd be.
What?
I said, was Ingrid way before?
Yeah, I know that seems like.
What? You was calling her old?
Insulting her age.
No,
I'm just saying. There was a lot of mascots in between Ingrid and Soup, so she's a.
Well, they
veteran.
recently just got a new suit. I think the new head for Topper is different. I think he's different from the old one.
I don't know. I think Topper's about the same as he used to be.
I think they changed him up.
Do they still try out for the mascot?
Yeah, and I wish Soup would have stayed on the air because I wanted to ask him. I remember he had to dance, and then he had to do a few other things for his tryout, and I can't remember what they were. But he said it was a pretty rigorous process. I mean, that's an important job.
I think it was like just a freestyle, like you had to impress them with something, whether it's like a fun activity or something. But you got a T-shirt gun now in the studio,
Yeah,
so
that's gonna be unbelievable. We got to test that out. But I wonder if that was a deal breaker when Soup went for this big job that he moved to North Carolina for. It was right down to him and 3 or 4 other people, and they looked, and he was top of the bear.
That's what sold it?
Yeah, because this company might need a mascot down the road.
So he'll work two
yeah,
double
he could
time.
be the mascot for it.
Speaking of mascots, do you remember the mascot that never stops flapping his wings during the game?
St. Joe's.
Yeah, St. Joseph's. The motto: "The hawk will never die."
That's the dumbest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, so the hawk is best known for staying in constant motion by flapping its wings throughout every basketball game and representing the St. Joseph's motto.
All right, well, here's a list of the let's do top 10 mascots of all time.
When are you talking about the names or just how they look?
Just who they are, what they are.
I'm going to say, wait, can I guess number 1?
Well, I'm not sure if they're ranking this top from bottom, but number 1, who I'm assuming is the worst out of this list, is also a Hilltopper.
Oh, the Western Kentucky.
Or Appalachian State.
You know what he is?
He's just a blob, right?
Big Red. Yeah, he's a big red blob.
Big red.
Oh, that's Western Kentucky.
Yeah, Western Kentucky. He's like a big triangle.
All right, so starting from the 10 spot going to the best, they're saying.
Wait, real quick, Joe. Appalachian State, they're the Mountaineers. They're not the
that's right. Yeah, I just thought of that too. That was dumb. I thought that.
In number 10, we're on 10 to 20 here. So we'll go 1 to 10, 1 being the worst. 1, Fred Bird for the St. Louis
Fred Bird
Cardinals.
or Redbird.
Yeah, Fred Bird. Then you got Suns Gorilla, the Phoenix Suns Gorilla.
He bounces off a trampoline and dunks.
Yeah, he is. He's pretty wild.
Number 12, the Sausages for the Milwaukee Brewers.
Oh yeah, what's his name? Who was the dude
for the Pirates?
Black that won and hurt him.
Whacked him in the head.
There's the brat, the Polish, the Italian, the hot dog, and last but not least, the chorizo.
Yeah, one of them got whacked by. Who was that? Matt, if you know that,
Yeah, Matt, let us know.
Who hit one of the brats with a bat?
If you're in chat right now, please let
really
us
bad.
know.
Then there's the KC Wolf, Kansas City Chiefs. Youppi for the Montreal Canadiens.
Hey, real quick, we have a chat again from Matt. He says, Chris of the Pine Room says, David the Tiger from Salem. Takeo was the top mascot in conference history. Randall Simon was who hit.
Did Matt say that?
Yep.
Yeah.
Who hit the sausage.
Who's the mascot for Salem Takeo?
David the Tiger.
Chris Hatch was back in the day when Chris loved Salem.
All right.
One Hatcher.
Then in the 5 spot, Raptor for the Toronto Raptors. Number 16, or 6, Jeff Doyle would be happy. The Leprechaun Notre Dame Fighting Irish. Number 7, Wally the Green Monster.
Yeah, I like
Boston Red Sox.
Philly Fanatic has to be number 1.
8, San Diego Chicken, San Diego Padres. Then 9 is Mr. Met for the New York Mets. And then number 10, you guessed it, the Philly Fanatic.
Yeah, it had to be
the
Philly Fanatic. Have you ever seen San Diego Chicken?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Job, have you ever seen him?
Yeah, I'm looking at him. He's a big furry chicken.
Yeah, so anyway, enough
mascot talk.
Enough for mascot talk. We're here for West Liberty. We got to start getting ready for the game. Again, they're taking on 2:07 Eastern Time. The West Liberty Hilltoppers in the Final Four taking on the Yellow Jackets of Black Hill University. A little bit about a couple facts about Black Hills University. They are a member of the Rocky Mountain Athletic Conference, which is obviously in the upper Midwest. They're located in Spearfish, South Dakota. Interesting name of a city, Spearfish, South Dakota. Their enrollment's 4,000, pretty sizable Division II school. And they advanced to the Final Four on Tuesday with an 86-68 win over Minnesota Duluth. Their head coach is Ryan Thompson. He's in his 5th season, has a very good record, 104-40, and they are 8-1 all-time in the NCAA tournament play. And again, we talked about some of their great players. They've got a duo of Matt Ragsdale and Joel Scott that could create problems for the Hilltoppers, but I think we have enough weapons to counter those guys. And it's going to be a good game. It's going to be a really fun game. I'm excited for it. E.J. Shodzinski coming on the air as soon as we come back from the top of the hour break. He'll give you the quick lineup update, give you a couple of previews, and then they'll throw it up in the air, and there's a lot of watch parties going on around the city. I know, I believe West Sports Bar is having a watch party. I know the Alpha had one, I believe, on Tuesday, so I think they're inviting people out. But anywhere, go to Generations, go anywhere and support those businesses and cheer on the Hilltoppers. Should be a lot of fun. Unfortunately, people are working. I don't know, us retired guys, retired guy, me, I can make those games. So hopefully you can get out. And if not, tune in to EJ Shotzinski here on the Watchdog and hear the play-by-play. He does a great job. He's been doing this for quite a long time. So
where'd you say Black Hills was?
In Spearfish, South Dakota.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. It's absolutely beautiful. It's a beautiful location. The actual Black Hills that are named after are nuts looking. They're really. I wish Matt could talk geography with me right now.
Job, do you know where Nova Southeastern is located?
They're in Florida.
Yeah, Florida's a big state.
It is a big state.
Well,
What
I'm
city?
assuming they're southeast of somewhere. I'm assuming they're.
It is southeastern.
Southeastern
Florida.
So they're on the Atlantic side.
They are on the
Yes.
Atlantic side.
Towards the south.
Well, yeah, southeast.
They're not Miami.
Close.
What's close to Miami? Not Tampa, because that's the other side.
Very close to Miami. Just north.
I don't know.
Fort Lauderdale. They're in
Oh,
Fort Lauderdale. Davie, Florida, I guess technically is what they. Fort Lauderdale dash Davie. They have actually 20,000 students in their, which is amazing. They have 5,000 undergraduates and about 1,500 postgrads, which is amazing. They have private research universities, so I'm sure a lot of like doctors and PAs probably go there. They're in the Sunshine State Conference, which is a really, really competitive conference in baseball, basketball. I don't know about football. I don't even think they have football in that conference, I believe.
Well, that's a good question.
Probably not. But then California State University at San Bernardino, who Nova plays, they are also a private research university. They're located in obviously San Bernardino. They have about 20,000 students. So both schools pretty big compared to West Liberty, which is pretty. That again, we talked about that the other day on the radio. How schools like Tampa and then Nova Southeastern have massive students and a massive population, and then you go up to West Liberty with population of about. Wonder what the population of West Liberty is?
500. Yeah, but they don't have a dirty dog. None of those schools or cities have a dirty dog.
No,
I bet they wish they did, because it's the best wings and sandwiches and coldest beer in West Liberty.
I'm sure they're
without a doubt.
I'm sure they're having a watch party up there.
Yeah, I think Pete actually is at the game. I think he and his wife.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I think he and his wife took off, and they're at the game, and I believe they're staying. If Hilltoppers are lucky enough to win today, I think they're staying. So thanks to Pete Miller.
Oh, real quick, I want to mention before we go on, speaking of March Madness, we still have our March Madness Watchdog bracket going on. So if you're still alive in that, keep that in mind. That's still going on. So by the end of this bracket, you got a chance to win a big screen TV. So thank you to everybody that hopped in on that.
Yeah, and then you can watch the Pioneer podcast on your new TV.
Yeah.
Coach, last question here before we go to break. If you're putting a little money on the Toppers or in that game, what are you going to go with?
Boy, I mean, I'm pulling for the Toppers heavy. I think I'd probably take the 5.5. Hopefully win by 1 to 5. I think it's going to be a really tight game, as Matt said, and then I would probably take the dog in the second game too. I'd probably go.
Yeah.
At this point in the season, I'd probably take both dogs.
Yeah. Again, West Liberty minus 5.5. Total in that game at 166.5. And then in the other game, Cal State is getting 8.5 points. Again, Nova Southeastern minus 8.5. Middle is at 170.5. A lot of points in both games.
Yeah.
That's a lot of points. I think I'd probably play both of them over.
Yep, I agree. And Bob Slider's in the house right now. I'd love to hear what he has to say about the game. But we're getting close to our top of the hour break. I think Jubb probably wants to hit on our sponsors one more time and send it to EJ.
Yeah, we're just getting organized right now, getting the broadcast nice and lined up. But yeah, we want to thank everybody for joining us so far. We appreciate all of our sponsors that have been a part of this show, this special event live from Evansville. Thank you to EJ for really spearheading the whole thing, and thank you to the Watchdog for allowing us to host here and be on the air on a regular basis. And today, like we said, we're going to be back to regularly scheduled programming coming up next week. You can listen Monday from 2 to 3, Tuesdays and Thursdays from 12 to 3. We got all our special little segments. We got 2 Lies and a Florida Guy, some history, all kinds of stuff. But to wrap up, I want to thank Belmont Savings Bank for being the title sponsor for Live from Evansville, and then everybody else along board, Fronapple and Burke Insurance, River City, the Highlands, BKCTG, Dirty Dog, Robinson Auto Group, Preferred Legacy Trust Company, Main Street Bank, Paris Insurance, and Charter Kennels. Thank you to everybody involved. We appreciate it, and we're going to kick it to Bob Slider and EJ Shadzinski for the actual broadcast of the West Liberty Hilltoppers right now. So thank you. Stay tuned in, and let's go Hilltoppers.